Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 1911A1 here with the Shade Tree Survivalists. First, I'd like to lead off and say Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope everyone had a safe and happy holiday, as well as a Happy New Year by the time you see this. Without Rule of Law, Part 2. Have you ever considered what keeps our society, or a society, functioning? To put a finer point on it, have you ever considered why civilization works? Even more to the point, what prevents chaos in our societies? Could it be the laws written down somewhere on a moldy old book in a library? Maybe it is the police. Could it be that either we obey or go to jail? If you think about it long enough, you will realize that it is none of those things. No, it is our willingness to obey a set of rules, both moral and legal, that makes our societies function. Most of us can agree that murder is unacceptable, as well as stealing. Most of us can agree with traffic laws and laws for the education of our children, though what is being taught is not always acceptable to everyone. Yet being willing is only part of what makes our, well, hell, society, any society, run smoothly. The other vital ingredient is confidence in that system. Confidence that it is fair and confidence that the rules apply to everyone equally. What happens when that confidence is eroded? Well, all you have to do is watch the nightly news to see that effect, to see the effect it has. In the past few months, we have had several shootings by police of citizens, some justifiable and some very questionable. Then we have had revenge killings of police officers in return. Where will it end? Without rule of law? That is a damn good possibility, ladies and gentlemen, if it continues to escalate. Being willing to go along with the rules is not enough, however, nor is your confidence in the system alone. Everyone must feel that the system is beneficial and fair to them as well. Most of the time it works. Other times, like now, problems arise and the fragility of our system is laid bare. The situations in Ferguson, St. Louis, New York, and Cleveland are like flakes of paint that had fallen off an old car. After that paint chips away, you see the ugliness underneath, the rust and decay that is eating the metal, destroying it. Mac Daddy 1911A1 grew up in a poor, mostly African-American neighborhood, living in poverty and being in the minority. There was only three other white families in the entire neighborhood. I can tell you that most people, regardless of color, are decent people. But I can also tell you that far too many people bask in the role of victimhood. My own mother was one of those perpetual victims. She would tell you without skipping a beat that Uncle Sam, aka Uncle Sugar, owed her food stamps, free rent, a welfare check, Medicaid, and on and on. You know what Mac Daddy 1911A1 thinks of that? Bullshit. Government taxes every working person and even retired people to pay for your pennies. That's what they call it. They're pennies. They owe me the pennies. It doesn't just magically appear out of nowhere. They have to take the money from someone to give it to you. So why do I, or they, the people, the working class, owe you any damn thing? Because I'm poor, or I can't work, or this person or that company or the government lied to me or put the screws to me and screwed me over. Those are the kinds of answers you will get if you ask folks on welfare. All total bullshit. Most of the time. There are, of course, folks who are disabled due to an accident or a birth defect, etc. And there are folks who lost their jobs when the company they work for went belly up or offshored their jobs, which is the case nowadays in most cases. Yes, we should help those folks. However, we should also require them to perform some type of work and go back to school in order to better themselves and to pay us, the taxpayer, back for the money we give them from the taxes that we willingly, though maybe reluctantly, pay in every Friday on every single paycheck we make. And in the case of small businesses like I used to be, every quarter. We have to work for our money, so why shouldn't they? Onward and upward, ladies and gentlemen. When, for whatever reason, we lose that confidence, our security blanket, we have to fend for ourselves or become prey to another segment of society, we as a society tend to panic and or become furious as hell. This panic or fury will start with those living on government assistance and those at the bottom of the pay scale. Those barely able to make ends meet. Why? Well, they are beaten down every day of every week, and after a while, many simply feel helpless. I mean, everybody takes advantage of the poor man. You think it's just the rich folks doing it? All right. Their employers are taking advantage of them. The cops take advantage of them. The city takes advantage of them. Their community takes advantage of them. They refuse to pay them a living wage. No benefits, no insurance. If they go to borrow money, they have to pay a much higher interest rate simply because of the type of work they do. I know that firsthand, and many of you out there do also. Many, as I have stated earlier, feel sorry for themselves and have wrapped themselves in the blanket of victimhood. When that check stops coming, or one injustice too many happens in their community, as they see it, the dam breaks and the raw emotions turn to hate, and bam, without rule of law ensues. Whether it be a lynching as in the bad old days of the Jim Crow South, that means you white folks out there ain't pure and white as you think you are, the ones that blame all this mess on just black folks. Or the Ferguson being looted and burned, the mob mentality ensues and law and order are left by the wayside. Once the mob mentality takes over, it is like a freaking tidal wave. It will engulf everyone and everything in its path. Because it is the mob mentality, there is generally no leader that can control it or turn it off. Only when the burning desperation and hate has burned out will it stop. At least for the majority that participates, that is. For some, however, that is only the beginning. They thrive on violence and death. These are, as we discussed in part 1, the barbarians and savages. The leaders of the savages use violence and death to bend like-minded scum to their will. They have no shame, nor do they feel empathy or sympathy for their followers or their victims. They respect only one thing, and only want one thing, and that is power. Literally, they want the power of life and death over every other creature on this earth. And as long as they are allowed to roam at will, they will exercise that power to the extremes, ladies and gentlemen. They derive that power from their brutality and their cruelty. They will be charismatic and absolutely ruthless at the same time, killing allies and foes alike with equal disregard for each. Some of their henchmen, one of Uncle Fester's favorite words, some of their henchmen will be like-minded followers, and others will only be bad actors who get caught up in the whirlwind and are too afraid to leave after witnessing the brutality of the real wolves. Real wolves. These are the ones who we must learn to recognize in an instant. These are the ones we must kill in that same damn instant. They are the monsters. They are monsters in the truest sense of the word. Any hesitation on our part is a death sentence for us and for everyone we care about. When confronted by scum like that, remember the final character John Wayne portrayed in the movie The Shootist, J.B. Books. And he said, it isn't being fast or even accurate that counts. It's being willing. You must bend your will to the task. You must understand evil and you must confront it and stop it instantly. Now is the time to prepare your mind, your heart, and your soul for that reality. With that in mind, I have some homework for you guys out there. I want you to pay close attention. I want you to go out and buy and read. More importantly, study and understand Colonel Jeff Cooper's book, The Principles of Personal Defense. Each principle or chapter is vital, but none more than chapters 1 and 2. Alertness and decisiveness. Having said that, chapter 6, ruthlessness, is just as vital. Hell, the entire pamphlet is vital. There are only 78 pages in this book, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't cost very much. All of it encompasses and explains the combat mindset you must possess to gain victory and life over the savages that would torture and or kill you for just for the damn fun of it. The book Principles of Personal Defense by Jeff Cooper can be found on eBay, Amazon.com, and at Paladin -press.com. You put that up there, maybe you can read this. This is my notes right here. Right there. Alright. Maybe the camera can see that alright. I'll put it down in a link below. I think you can also buy it from the Jeff Cooper Foundation. Alright, it promotes continuing to teach the principles of personal defense. Alright. Now look, before I continue with this, no matter whether you agree with the Weaver stance or the 1911 platform as a personal defense choice, or his rifle choices or anything else, that ain't got nothing to do with it. He does not say in his book which gun to carry or this or that or the other or the Weaver stance. He is talking about the combat mindset. And you'll see what I'm talking about. In closing, I want to impress upon you that your combat mindset is more important than every other weapon that you have now or will have in the future. It does you absolutely no damn good to own the biggest, baddest, most powerful firearm or knife or tomahawk or sword if you A, are caught by surprise, or B, are not decisive enough or ruthless enough to use it until the wolves, every damn one of them, are killed by you. You cannot wait until the wolves are at your door. You must decide now what must be done. And when the time comes, you won't have to think. You only have to do. And that's the key to the whole ball of wax. You have to understand what the combat mindset is. You have to make that decision now. This is what I will do if I'm confronted with this. You have to make that decision, and you have to put it back in the back of your mind, like the colonel I was talking about the other night, that will come out and explode like an atomic bomb when you are confronted with this fucking evil. Because that's exactly what it is. It is evil. And that's what Jeff Cooper explains. Number one, you must never be taken by surprise. And number two, you must be decisive. You must make that decision now, so when you're confronted with it, it's already been made. You do what you got to do. And you do it now, instantly. There's no negotiating with these animals. There's no freaking running away. Okay? It is the thrill of having your life in the palm of their hands that they seek out. All right? That they thrive for. I mean, it's just like a dose of cocaine or something for them. It's a drug. So you make that damn decision now. You read that damn book. That is the most important lesson. And Colonel Cooper said that in his video presentation on the using the handgun for personal defense. He said, if you take nothing else from this class, this is the most important. This is the most vital thing you must do now. You cannot wait. All right? You must have that in your mind. You must have your mindset ready. Because if you don't, well, you're just another damn notch on that dude's gun belt or rifle stock or whatever. Anywho, this is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with another slap you upside the head video and say, wake the hell up. If you're going to be a sheepdog, if you're going to protect your family, your friends, your neighbors, your community from scumbags of the damn universe, if a situation like this presents itself, then you best prepare your mind, your heart, and your soul. Having all these damn guns does you no good. Knowing how to use them does you no good if when the damn time comes you hesitate. Well, then you become dead survivalist. Alright? Thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care and have a